Hey guys, it's Absolacario2213 here again with a brand new video. From taking photos of Pokemon in Pokemon Snap, to capturing wild Pokemon with a capture stylus and rangers, to exploring never-ending underground puzzles in Mystery Dungeon, there are so many Pokemon spin-off games. What will the Pokemon franchise come up with next? What will be their new spin-off game that'll get everyone's eyes peeled to the screen and every game store shelves raided? Well, in this video, I'll be discussing new spin-off games that the Pokemon Company could create and what I'd like to see the Pokemon Company produce in the future. Ever wondered how Brock and Silent whip up those delicious casseroles or sandwiches in the anime? Or how about those Pokepuffs in Pokemon and Me? Well, I think a similar game to Cooking Mama would be great for the Pokemon franchise. They could have Pokemon-inspired food for players to make, bake, and fry. It could teach younger players the basics of cooking with Pokemon and also be fun and addictive. You know how when you listen to the Pokemon theme song and it gets stuck in your head? Sometimes it takes days for me to get that song out of my head. Pokemon theme songs and even soundtracks from within the games are extremely catchy. I really love listening to a vast majority of the music from the anime and games. So why not make a game kind of like Guitar Hero, where you can actually play your favourite Poke tune and rock out with other Poke fans. I really liked the original Guitar Hero and I definitely like a Pokemon version. Everyone loves a good racing car game, whether it be Gran Turismo or Mario Kart. Pokemon tried getting in on the action with Pokemon Dash. Although it has its upsides and was kind of fun before your hands started to cramp after all the swiping you had to do, it wasn't as successful as they could have made it. Perhaps Nintendo could make a Pokemon race game with Pokemon characters racing in Pokemon themed vehicles, or stick to the Pokemon Dash theme and have the actual Pokemon race against each other. Either way, I think the control pad is the best option for controlling the races and not the touchscreen. If they can alter the mechanics a bit and add more features like customizable cars, then I think the Poke races could be a hit. We've had Wii Sports, Wii Sports Resort, and even Sports Connection, but no Wii Sports Pokemon. I think it would be an awesome game to have a Lucario play baseball, or a Hitmonchan playing boxing, or even a Mewtwo playing golf. I don't know why they haven't thought about this game yet, because I'd play it even if I am one of the laziest people I know. I think it would be hilarious to see some Pokemon playing different sports, and a lot of fun and good exercise too. When I was a kid and got a free Age of Empires game in my Nutrigrain cereal box, I couldn't stop playing it. Building empires and creating strong enough defenses to claim victory was very amusing. I know Pokemon Conquest is kind of similar to Age of Empires or Total War, but it wasn't really the same. I think if they made each Pokemon type into one nation and have those Pokemon build an empire to defend their land from other types, then that would be so cool. For example, all the fire types could be one civilization, and basic Pokemon could be the builders, second evolutions could be defenders, and final stages could be attackers, or something along that line. Do you know what I've always wanted? A game that is based off the anime series, where you can play as Ash and have his friends follow him and help him in battles. Having an adventure game on the Wii U with Ash as a protagonist would be absolutely amazing. Capturing Pokemon that Ash would never actually get in the anime, battling with his friends by his side for support and tips, and talking to characters from the anime such as his mum or Tracy in Pallet Town. It'd be such a cool game. They could even offer DLC of other regions to explore, and side quests that he takes during the TV show that aren't in any of the main series games. They could even have DLC that relate to the movies and have him encounter legendary Pokemon whilst he visits Arborville and hears the voice of the forest. Another game that I've always dreamt about ever since Red and Blue is a game where you can choose who you play as. I'm not talking about different genders. I'm talking about being a trainer, a professor, a villain, or even a gym leader. It'd be such an awesome game to be able to play as those different characters and complete tasks that they would do in their everyday lives. For example, a professor would capture Pokemon and analyze them for research or explore new lands. A gym leader would battle many young trainers and train in a specific way and specific types of Pokemon. Heck, if you played as a gym leader, you could even have a mode where you can decorate and build your own gym in any way you like. Or a villain would be fun, as you'd be able to join an evil team who lurk around in dark alleys and try to be secretive in anything they do to conquer the region. I don't know, I think it'd be an interesting and fun game. Remember the good old days of playing Crash Bandicoot and Spyro? Or even The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time? What made these games so fun and playable was the way the characters interacted with their environment. The way the player becomes a protagonist and explores the world around them while doing quests. I know Pokemon is very similar with their main series games and the Pokepark games, but something is missing. Pokepark was probably the closest Nintendo got to creating a 3D open world game for the Wii. I really would love Game Freak to make a Pokemon game where you can be a character, whether it be a trainer or Pokemon, and roam around in an open world and be able to capture Pokemon, battle in a 3D space, and explore mountains, cities, oceans, and forests. To have a Wii U version of a main series Pokemon game would be amazing. What would be even cooler is if they created a Wii Ball that resembles a Pokeball and players could pretend to throw it as if they were catching a real Pokemon, or voice command on their Wii U controller and shout out attacks for their Pokemon to respond to. To play the games on the big screen and to be able to play in the style of Zelda or Spyro would put the cherry on top. Well, that concludes this video of spin-off Pokemon games I would like to see in the future. Do you like any of my ideas? Do you have any suggestions or spin-off games that you'd like to see one day? Leave a comment down below and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more Pokemon related content. Thank you so much for watching and see you later.